second out of this top of the second inning.
Third strikeout for Dugan. As you mentioned, John, the runs were unearned in the first inning. Dugan looked sharp.
So he's settled down. Sometimes errors behind you, if you're a pitcher, can get you rattled, and not so for Nick Dugan, it would appear. Number 9 hitter Hunter Meyer at the plate. Freshman from Rancho Cucamonga, right-handed hitter. Fastball's just inside from Dugan. Count of 1-0. Meyer hitting 188, 3 for 16 this young season. Fastball from Dugan. That one was low. And Meyer ahead, 2-0. Go back to the top of the order. Should this number 9 hitter reach? Dugan's 2-0. That stayed outside. Curveball. And for the first time this afternoon, Nick Dugan suffers, if you will, a 3-0 count.
Only walked one in his first start of the season in the opener. Walked one in the first inning today.
3-0 pitch. Curveball is over for a strike. At least he took something off. Might have been a straight change. And it's 3-1. Meyer 6'1", 185-pounder. 3-1 pitch is popped foul over toward the railing. Sasaki going over, and he makes the catch as he takes one step and gently careens into the padding. A couple fine defensive plays by the Stanford first baseman.
I was going to say, that inning is going on the Sasaki defensive highlight reel.
So for the Titans, no runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. We played an inning and a half at Sunken Diamond on the campus of beautiful Stanford University with our score. Cal State Fullerton 1 and Stanford 0. We are back at Sunken Diamond. John Platts along with Scott Reese on ACC Network Extra. Happy you've joined us on this Friday afternoon, the home opener for Stanford here in 2026. Stanford will have 5, 6, 7 in this second inning. Bottom of the second. Stanford trailing Fullerton 1-0. Titans got an unearned run in the top of the first. Sasaki, the sophomore from Hanamaki, Owate, Japan, cause celebrate. Coming over from Japan to play baseball at Stanford, the sophomore. Pitch from Negrete is low. Sasaki hitting .231 this season, 3 for 13. Does have a home run, homered in the opener against Arizona. He and Luke Lavin, who also hit this inning, have the only homers for Stanford this year through 4 games. Pitch to Sasaki's popped up over our heads. We're in the press box at the second level here at Sunken Diamond.
I would have caught it.
You didn't bring your glove.
Don't need one.
Spoken like the Dodger Stadium veteran that Scott Reese is. You ever get a foul ball?
I got a foul ball once at the old Shea Stadium.
Sasaki takes a beautiful curveball from Makai Negrete, and the count is 1-2, so the Titan left-hander ahead 1-2. We'll get back to that Scott Reese at Shea in a moment.
What a moment it was.
1-2 is lifted to right center field and deep. Thomas, though, has a beat on it. He's under it and makes the catch.
Just got under it.
Actually, that's Meyer, Hunter Meyer. Ty Thomas is a DH. Hunter Meyer records the out in center. Boy, had some excitement here for the Sunken Diamond patrons, though, did it not, Scott?
Yeah, off the bat, it looked like it might have a chance, but it died out there.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, not a lot of wind today, but right center's a poke, and it didn't have the juice.
Yeah, it's 400 to center here at Sunken Diamond, 335 down the lines, 375 to the power alleys, 400 to center. A bit of heavy air with the overcast.
Of course, for Sasaki, that's like an infield pop-up, the way he hits it.
Bring up J.J. Moran, Stanford's leading hitter by average this season. He swings through a Negrete pitch, off speed, count of 0-1. Moran, the sophomore from San Diego, hitting .438. He's 7 for 16. He has a hit in all 4 of Stanford's first games this year. Only Stanford player to be able to make that claim. Pitch from Negrete, finds the plate at the knees, and a Moran in a hole, 0-2. Moran played sparingly last year, just .259 his average, 27 at bats, but earned the starting job at third, trying to stay alive here, 0-2. Pitch is swung on and missed, breaking ball in the dirt, and the throw to first retires Moran. Max Ortega throwing to the first baseman Kirchner, so score that one, score the put out 2-3. And that'll bring up Luke Lavin, the Stanford catcher, the junior from Laguna Beach. Another one of these Stanford hitters who's getting off to a quiet start. Lavin 1 for 11, hitting 091. Does have the home run that we mentioned. That's his only hit so far this year. Lavin hits a 3-hopper to second. Up with it is the second baseman Miller, over to first, and that retires the side. The Cardinal goes quietly in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. When we come back, Scott Reese will take the play-by-play, and we'll do that after this break. Our score after 2, Cal State Fullerton 1 and Stanford nothing. We've played 2 on a cloudy Friday afternoon in mid-February here at Stanford University. Our score, Cal State Fullerton 1, Stanford nothing. Titans got an unearned run in the top of the first inning. Titans still looking for their first hit. Stanford has a hit, but a couple of errors in that top of the first produced the Cal State Fullerton run as we get ready to go to the top of the third. And with that, I will turn it over to our broadcast partner, Scott Reese.
Thank you, John. Top of the order for the Titans, Ty Thomas, Andrew Kirchner, and Paul Contreras. Which, by the way, was not supposed to be the top of the order for the Titans. But Eli Lopez was scratched. Couldn't have been more than 5 or 10 minutes before the first pitch. His back apparently tightened up on him.
Good.
He was going to hit leadoff. So instead, Thomas moved from the 3-hole to the leadoff spot. And Britton Beeson got the start. They changed things around defensively, and here we are.
And that's a lot. Lopez, senior, career 300 hitter for the Titans, and solid defensively. So that was a surprise, and Cal State Fullerton trying to work around that.
What we don't know is whether Eli is available off the bench.
Yeah.
So we'll wait and see. At any rate, Ty Thomas led off the ball game with a strikeout. Nick Dugan has punched out 3 through 2 innings of work. And as John mentioned, has not given up a hit, although he has allowed 2 unearned runs, both of those coming in the first inning. Momentary delay as we had a maintenance vehicle on the field, but it has departed via the center field fence, and we're ready to go. Nick Dugan, the big right-hander. First pitch is low and away, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch is again low, ball 2. And Dugan has really taken steps, John, in each of his 3 off seasons here on the farm. He had an ERA of 7-something as a freshman, 6.5, mostly out of the pen as a sophomore. The 2-0 is on the outside corner for a strike.
Well, it's a big step to assume the number 1 starter position.
Well, and that's what I was getting at. Last year as a junior, ERA in the mid-4s, but he was really good late season. When moved into the rotation, he was 5-0, and now this is a big deal. A hot shot into left field and a base hit for Ty Thomas to lead off the third. And John, I mean, how many times have you seen this over the years? Guys do their apprenticeships either out of the bullpen or maybe as a midweek starter, a Sunday starter, and then you become an upperclassman. In this case, he's a senior, and now, hey, you're the guy. You're the Friday guy. You're the ace of the staff.
Stanford lost 2 starters from last year, Matt Scott and Joey Velochko, in the transfer portal, and ended up each of them at an SEC school.
Andrew Kirchner is the batter. Walked his first time up in the first inning. And the first pitch just off the outside corner for a ball. And Kirchner's a guy you got to be careful. He does have the lone home run for Cal State Fullerton this season. Last year, he hit .301 with 12 bombs and a team-high 70 RBI. And breaking ball again, low and away. So Dugan had really good control the first couple of innings. It seems to have escaped him here at the top of the third.
And Fullerton has a bit of a following along the third base side. We're hearing some noise. We see some Fullerton hats.
Yeah.
This is a long-running series.
2-0, upstairs, ball 3.
Scott, these teams have played every year since 1979 except 1994, 2010 through 2014, and in 2021. Every other year these teams have played, usually a 3-game series. That's how you get to game number 134.
That's a lot of games for non-conference foes. 3-0 pitch and a strike on the inside corner. Kirchner took it. Went back to the slider, got the call. Thomas at first base does not have a stolen base attempt this year. And again, the Titans have stolen just one base as a team this season. It's the guy at home plate who has that steal. 3-1 pitch, change up, swung on and missed. That's a good pitch.
Oh, Kirchner swung right through it. He was way out in front.
So we'll see if they turn Thomas loose. Again, not your prototypical leadoff hitter, and wasn't supposed to be the leadoff hitter today, but he is, and he's on first base, and it's a potential running situation. And there he goes. 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Throw down to second. In time, strike him out, throw him out. Terrific job by Luke Lavin, eliminating Ty Thomas from the base paths.
You nailed it, Scott. And that wasn't a fastball, so Lavin had to wait a bit, but he uncorked a strike. And like you said, on one pitch, Stanford records 2 outs.
I tell you what, opposing base runners this year against the Cardinal, again, small sample size, 2 for 7.
Yeah, it's outstanding. The catcher throwing out 71.4% of the opposing base runners to the moment.
That'll play. Swung on and missed. And quickly Dugan ahead of Max Ortega. 0-2.
Well, and it seems like Dugan has been energized.
Yeah, doesn't it? Sorry, it's Contreras, not Ortega, but either way, it's a strikeout as he got him on a check swing. How about a strike him out, throw him out, and then good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Change the whole inning.
Absolutely. So Contreras down on strikes. That is 5 Ks for Dugan through 3 innings. And we remain Cal State Fullerton 1, Stanford nothing. Back to the bottom of the third, right after. Back at Sunken Diamond on the campus of Stanford University. Cal State Fullerton 1, Stanford nothing. Bottom of the third inning. Cardinal will send up Ethan Hott, Brock Sell, and the top of the order, Tatum Marsh. So the 3 outfielders coming to the plate. The first 2 are freshmen. Ethan Hott, 3 for 12 on this young season. And the first pitch from Negrete is popped up right center field. And it will be squeezed by Hunter Meyer for the first out. So 1 pitch, 1 away for Negrete. John, he's been impressive. Again, he's not overpowering. He's not blowing fastballs by anybody, but boy, he's workmanlike and he's getting it done.
Do we characterize him as a crafty left-hander?
Crafty lefty, yeah.
Sort of Kirk Reeder for those that are Bay Area types. Former San Francisco Giant pitcher. Thick-legged, relies on change of speeds.
First pitch to Brock Sell is off the plate for a ball. And Negrete last year, after transferring from San Diego, 5-3, 5.58 ERA, nothing special. He comes out of the gate this season, throws 5 scoreless in the opener against Cal Baptist as the ball is fouled back into the netting. And he's been virtually spotless here today.
Looks very comfortable out there, as befits an upperclassman. And the numbers, the pitching numbers haven't. He's been durable. He's answered the bell for every start, but the ERA the last couple of years, 5+.
Fastball just off the outside part of the plate. That was close. And it's 2-1 to Brock Sell, 6'1", 176-pound freshman out of Stockton, California.
To be fair, Negrete 5.5 ERA last year.
And that one is off the plate as well. So all of a sudden the strike zone's tightening up a little bit.
Pretty good. Negrete 5.51 last year, 4.61 year before. So he's been right around 5.
Yeah.
First prior 2 years.
3-1 pitch to Sell is fouled out of play. Brock Sell, highly touted freshman.
They got 2 Stockton guys that played catchers from Stockton, Ortega, Brock Sell from Stockton as well.
Numbered. And there's an opposite field fly ball, left field corner. If it stays fair, it's trouble. It's foul by about 3 feet.
Well, he really inside out of that swing did Sell, Scott, and he didn't seem to have a lot of slice on it, so it looked like it was going to fall in. It was about a 300-foot poke.
Very, very close. I was going to say Sell was number 20 on D1 Baseball's top 100 freshman list. So this is a highly touted recruit who's just dipping his toes into college baseball these first 5 games. 3-2 pitch coming up, and it is way inside ball 4, so Stanford has its second base runner of the game.
And Sell, good job taking that one. And it's a player that talented, Scott. You may ask, why is he hitting 9th? Well, the answer is he can run a little bit. You have that sort of 2 leadoff man kind of thing.
And the lineup's pretty good.
And this guy at the plate here, 377 last year as a freshman. Speaking of freshmen making an impression.
Yeah. And that would be Marsh. Struck out his first time up, takes inside ball 1, and that was close. He's not missing by much.
He is not.
Although the ball 4 was well off the plate. The others have been close.
Well, watch Sell at first base. He's a little jumpy there.
Fastball to third. Second for 1, back to first, and a 5-4-3 double play started beautifully by Cameron Kim, turned by Nick Miller, and just like that, the side is retired. No runs, no hits, 1 walk, nobody left for the Cardinal. We have played 3 complete here at Sunken Diamond, and the score remains Fullerton 1, Stanford nothing. Scott Reese, John Platts, Sunken Diamond, or if you prefer, Klein Field here at Stanford University. And we've got a pitcher's duel. 2 hits combined in this game through 3 innings. But 2 Stanford errors in the first led to a Cal State Fullerton run, and that's where we sit. It's 1-0 Titans. As Max Ortega strides to the plate. Ortega hit the ball to left field that Brock Sell could not corral. That was the second of the back-to-back Stanford errors in the first inning, and it plated the game's only run.
Rare to see an error on the left fielder on a fly ball without wind, without sun impediment.
First pitch from Nick Dugan is a breaking ball off the plate, 1-0.
Ortega from St. Mary's High School in Stockton.
1-0 is low and away, ball 2.
I bring that up because the late Mark Marquez, for 41 years, the head coach here at Stanford, 1977 to 2017, 2 College World Series championships, 14 College World Series appearances. He's a Stockton native as well.
It just popped up on the infield. It's Sasaki calling off third baseman Moran and makes the catch on top of the pitcher's mound. So Sasaki has...
He's been busy.
He's been busy, and he's been very effective defensively for the Cardinals. And if we talk about Mark Marquez for Stanford, we now have Cal State Fullerton's number 9, Cameron Kim, coming to the plate.
Stanford losing former longtime head coach. Just 3 weeks ago, at the age of 78.
Not many more impactful figures around this place ever.
He was referred to as 9 by his players, and we see on the right center field wall a commemorative number 9.
1-0 pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. 1
Coach of the United States gold medal winning Olympic baseball team in 1988, the same year that he won the second of his 2 College World Championships.
Paul Carey. And you called those games for
I did, yeah. Mike Messina was the number 2 starter. You may ask who was the number 1. Is it young man by the name of Lee Plemmel, who pitched so well in the postseason. He was the most outstanding player of the 1988 College World Series in Omaha. Stanford besting number 1 ranked Arizona State in the championship game.
2-1 pitch to Kim. Fastball low. Ball 3. Dugan's pitched well, John, but the next pitch will be his 60th. So those errors really got his pitch count up in the first inning, and that's going to knock him out of this game.
This level of baseball with pro prospects, I think Dugan has a potential pro future. Pitch count, just watch closely and won't be breached.
There's a line drive to right field, and up it gets past a diving Marsh, and Kim will go to second base and hold up there as Marsh scoots back to retrieve the baseball. Makes a strong throw back to the infield.
Single and an error, double all the way.
Double all the way. That's what I'm calling. It's a diving attempt. It went under his glove. Interesting. I just noticed the nuances, having played baseball for a lot of years. But Sasaki, that throw came in basically to second base. Sasaki went and cut the ball off. The first baseman went and cut the ball off. He was standing on the other side of second base to catch the baseball.
Because the normal cut man,
usually it'd be the second base
shortstop.
going out, shortstop covering second.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, there's a towering fly ball left field. Broxell going back, and he can watch it into the trees. An impressive home run for Britton Beeson, the guy who wasn't even supposed to start this game. And he opens it up a tad. It's 3-0 Fullerton.
They got all of it, Scott. Towering blast. And there's a slight breeze to left field today, but not much. He just got all of it, did Britton Beeson, the 6'2" senior.
Just like that, Dugan has given up 3 runs and 3 hits, and Nick Miller will bat for the second time. Grounded out his first time up.
Our first 2 extra base hits of the afternoon have been the last 2 hitters for Cal State Fullerton.
Swing and a miss, strike 1, evens the count.
Tried to hold up, couldn't do it. Miller, the emergency second baseman when Lopez had to scratch, and he turned a nice double play there at the top of the inning.
Breaking ball hammered to short, and it eats up Charlie Bates into left field, and I imagine that will be a base hit. It was scorched. It was only about a foot to the left of Bates, but a tough hop into left field, and now that's 3 straight really hard hit baseballs, and that's going to get some bodies scurrying toward the Stanford bullpen.
Yeah, that was hit on the screws. A 1-hopper. It caught Bates, the shortstop. It's really trying to play body defense there. Ball was hit so hard.
So Dugan allowed just 1 hit through 3 innings. He has now allowed 3 consecutive base hits. Cade O'Hara squares to bunt, pulls it back. They called that a strike? Didn't look like a strike. All right, so it's 0-1. There goes the runner. Pitch is skied to center field. Hot, ranging over into right center. Had to go a long way, but he makes the catch. And Miller will retreat to first base.
That was a long run by the center fielder, Ethan Hott. He was shading to left center, and that ball was hit pretty much to the edge of the warning track in right center. Hot showing good speed to run that one down.
So the number 9 hitter, Hunter Meyer, will come to the plate for the second time. Fouled out to Ritaro Sasaki, who made a nice play back in the second inning. Fouled back 0-1. Can't get a number on the relief pitcher who was doing calisthenics down there in the bullpen down the right field line for Stanford. Good breaking ball, outside corner.
Meyer tried to hold up, and they appealed to first base, went in favor of the Stanford pitcher.
So Dugan trying to get out of what has been a rough inning for the Cardinal. Won't do it there. Nice stop by Luke Lavin. 1-2. The weather has shifted, John. We were putting on sunscreen and talking about getting our faces burnt in the pregame, and now it's overcast, a little chilly.
Got some cloud cover.
Got some cloud cover.
What a beautiful field with oak trees ringing the area behind the fence.
1-2 pitch to Meyer is fouled away. It's fun watching the kids every time there's a foul ball out of play down the first base line or the third base line.
Well, we got to get to that story about you in Shea Stadium.
No, it's not that good a story. Reggie Sanders hit a foul ball. I ran after it. I got it. That's
Okay.
it. that's 1-2 pitch, runner bluffs and foul back. Not sure if O'Hara was actually thinking about running and changed his mind, or if it was just a bluff. Pitch number 71 for Nick Dugan is grounded to third. Nice play by Moran and across the diamond in time. So, inning over, but damage done. Couple of runs on 3 hits, including the monster 2-run home run by Britton Beeson. And Fullerton now leads Stanford 3-0. We're back right after. Fullerton 3, Stanford nothing, as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Sunken Diamond. And this Cardinal offense, John, which has been so productive in the first 4 games of the season, having its struggles today with the San Diego transfer. Akaya Negrete throwing strikes, keeping these Stanford hitters off balance, and the Cardinals still with just 1 hit on the day.
Product of Servite High in Orange County. I'll give you the Major League pitcher from that school.
Bates fouls one down the left field line toward a group of what we believe to be Stanford football players.
Servite High is where Mike Witt, the Angel pitcher, number of years, was a teammate with Steve Buechele, played for the Cubs and the Rangers. They teamed on the CIF championship team in 1978.
I do believe Mike Witt threw a no-hitter, if I'm not mistaken.
September 30th, 1984.
Of course you know the date.
At Texas.
Of course you do. Oh, man. Before there was Google, there was Platts. 1-2 pitch to Bates. Curveball stroked into center field, and Hunter Meyer will put it away for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Jimmy Natai, the Aussie, who has the Cardinals' only hit of the ball game. line shot to center field back in the first inning.
One of just 2 base runners. Not that hit, then a walk last inning. That's it for Stanford thus far.
Change up, catches the outside corner. 0-1. Brady Reynolds on deck. And another strike. So he is really painting it, John.
He looks strong. He was strong in the opener, as you mentioned. 5 innings,
Great.
got the win.
I mean, he's going on 8 1/3 scoreless to begin this 2026 season.
Yeah, that's scoreless in the opener.
Boy, check swing absolutely went around. That's strike 3. So, Negrete, again, topping out at 90. This is not a guy with an overpowering fastball, but he is mixing his pitches. He is locating beautifully.
Fourth strikeout.
And Brady Reynolds will try to get something done. Stanford does have 5 lefties in this lineup against the left-handed Negrete. First pitch to Reynolds, swung on and missed. And we noticed this when we were filling out the lineup cards, that on the one side you have Stanford, for the most part, alternating lefty, righty, lefty. And on the other side you have Fullerton, which goes righty, lefty, 7 righties. Only 1 left-handed bat against Dugan. And there's a drive to right center field, but the ball is not carrying today. And Meyer will put it away about 10 feet in front of the warning track. So once again, nothing doing for the Cardinal. 4 innings in the books here at Sunken. Fullerton 3, Stanford nothing. John will have the call when we return. Top of the 5th here at Stanford. Titans 3, Cardinal nothing. It'll be 9-1-2 for Fullerton. Hunter Meyer, Ty Thomas, Andrew Kirchner. And once again with a call, the human encyclopedia, also known as John Platz.
Well, Dodgers and Angels a little better than the average run-of-the-mill no-hitter, but thank you for the kudos. Ty Thomas to lead it off for the Titans, followed by Kirchner and Contreras in this top of the 5th inning. 3-0. Cal State Fullerton leading in this one. First pitch from Nick Dugan is a breaking ball swung on and missed. Count of 0-1.
So John, I was going to ask you, when was the last time you called a Stanford baseball game?
Not this millennium. It's been a while. 0-1 pitch is stayed up. Count of 1-1. But it's just like settling back and riding a bike.
Isn't it though? Mine would have been 1994.
Okay, well, I was before that. But there's 37 years of basketball games and 16 years of football games, so many with you.
Yeah.
Pitch missed from Dugan. So 2-1 count to the leadoff man, Ty Thomas, who has struck out and singled in the game. Was caught stealing in his last at bat after reaching on the single. 2-1 pitch stayed away. And Ty Thomas, the leadoff man, ahead on the count 3-1. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Titans. No runs, 1 hit for Stanford. Titans got 2 of their 3 runs on a 2-run home run by Britt Beeson. As the 3-1 pitch crosses the outside corner of the plate, and the count has gone full. 3-2 to Ty Thomas. The other run for Cal State Fullerton, unearned run in the top of the 1st. Run in the 1st, 2 in the 4th for Cal State Fullerton. The 3-2 is lifted foul and out of play along the right field side. We'll do it again, 3-2. Ty Thomas, the San Bernardino product, Cajon High School, and then went to junior college, Mount San Antonio Junior College, Southern California. 3-2 pitch to him is wrapped to the third base. Diving stop by Moran. Gets up, throws across the diamond. It is scooped up by Rentaro Sasaki, who's having a day. vacuuming up those one-hoppers at first base, but a fine play again on both ends. Diving to his right, or rather to his left, was J.J. Moran at first, got up and threw across the diamond, and then the dig out by Sasaki gets the runner by a half a step.
Yeah, for a team that struggled defensively early in this game, Stanford has really come on in that regard the last couple of innings. That was a fantastic play by Moran at third. And Sasaki, I mean, 4 reasonably difficult to very difficult plays. He's made them all seamlessly today.
Making it look easy. Stanford picking it, catching it. Now a chopper up along the first base line. Yep, and Sasaki scoops it up, runs over to first, and retires Andrew Kirchner, the number 2 hitter.
Of course, you would have made that play.
Probably. He's been busy.
He's been busy. Well, and look, so much talk about Sasaki coming in and all the home runs in Japan and the high school record and a first-round pick in the Japanese league and everything else. But the defense was a question mark, and you wouldn't know it. I mean, he's been soft hands out there today. He looks great.
Yeah, he's 6'1", 270 pounds, but he is light on his feet. He's playing great defense today. The pitch to Paul Contreras outside for a ball. It's 1-0 to the number 3 hitter for the Titans, who reached on an error and struck out in his 2 prior plate appearances. He was the hitter that hit the slow roller between short and third. And third baseman Moran scooped up and was going to easily force out the runner at second, but the throw got away from him. Now the 1-1 pitch stayed inside. Count 2-1 now to Paul Contreras.
Tough start offensively for Contreras, just 3 for 17.
He hits one, a 2-hopper to Moran, who scoops it up, squares up, and throws across the diamond to retire Contreras. 1-2-3. Go the Titans in the top of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left after 4.5 at Sunken Diamond on the campus of Stanford University. Cal State Fullerton 3 and Stanford nothing. Bottom of the 5th at Stanford. Cal State Fullerton 3, Stanford nothing. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 for Stanford in this bottom of the 5th inning. Rentaro Sasaki, J.J. Moran, and Luke Lavin, the scheduled hitters. Sasaki, the product of Japan in his sophomore season. Fastball from Negrete up and away. Count of 1-0. Sasaki last year, amid all the television cameras and all the hullabaloo, played in all 52 games, started all 52. Curveball and a beauty. Count even up at 1-1. Sasaki last year, 269 the average, 7 home runs, 41 RBIs in 201 at bats. Claiming he'll be the next Ohtani. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Easy.
1-1 offering from Negrete is on the outside corner.
So John, Negrete on the season has now thrown a 4-hit shutout with 1 walk and 8 strikeouts. 9 innings.
He has been effective with a capital E. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball stayed away. Count even up at 2-2 to Rentaro Sasaki. Struck out 47 times in the 201 at bats last year. OPS of 790. Figured it'd be better this year. He wraps one up the middle, but it is scooped up. Playing behind second base is the shortstop O'Hara, and he gloves it and throws out Sasaki, and there's the benefit. I guess, Scott, you wouldn't say that there was a shift on there, but O'Hara was positioned right almost about 3 or 4 steps just to the left of the second base bag, and so he was right there for that up the middle shot.
Not only that, but I just looked up. Did you notice where the second baseman Nick Miller was playing, Sasaki? He was about 40 feet into right field.
Yeah.
Like if you looked up, you would have thought it was the right fielder. Like that's how much respect they have for Rentaro Sasaki. Also knowing Sasaki is not a speed merchant down the line, he can afford to do that.
Pitch to J.J. Moran is a fastball just off the inside counter. 1-0 Moran. A strikeout victim in the second inning. One of 4 strikeouts thus far from Makaya Negrete, who is pitching a gem for Cal State Fullerton. 1-0 is wrapped to right center field and deep. On his horse is Meyer, and that one is gone. It clears the fence in right center field. J.J. Moran's first home run of the season, third for Stanford as a team here in 2026. Second career round tripper for Moran, and Stanford has cut in to the Fullerton lead. It's now 3-1 Titans over the Cardinal.
Well, he crushed that. It looked straightaway center off the bat, and it just kept tailing and tailing toward right center. He barreled it.
Bit of an inside-out swing, but a lot of opposite field power from J.J. Moran, the Stanford sophomore third baseman. Pitch to Luke Lavin, the Stanford catcher's waved at and missed. But Stanford gets just its second hit of the afternoon, but it was a big one. Lavin grounded to second his first time. Curveball stayed up and in. Count even up at 1-1 to Luke Lavin, junior from Laguna Beach, Rancho Santa Margarita High School in southern Orange County. Junior, curveball is inside, and the count 2-1. Lavin played 26 games part-time duty as a freshman, hit 197 last year. Part-time as well, 27 games, hit 242. 3 home runs last year, has the one this year already. 2-1 pitch, fastball on the outside corner.
John, those last 2 curveballs to Lavin were not nearly as sharp as his breaking balls had been up to that point. Went back to the fastball here. Keep an eye on
Yeah,
that.
maybe getting a little fatigued. Went only 5 innings.
Yep.
Of course, we're early season, building up arm strength. 2-2 pitch is just low. Had Lavin bailing out with the hips a little bit. And the count is full of the Stanford junior catcher, Luke Lavin. 1 out, nobody on. 3-1, Cal State Fullerton, bottom of the 5th. 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Looked to be a
Fastball.
Change.
I think that was.
Is that fastball?
I think it
All
was.
right.
Yeah.
Well, ring up strikeout number 5.
His fastball just isn't that fast, but I think that was a fastball.
Right. Yeah, he's not mid-90s.
No, he's not.
So 2 outs now for the Cardinal, and Ethan Hott, the center fielder, comes to the plate. He's flied out to center, his first time up.
It's 5 Ks for Negrete.
First pitch to Hott, breaking ball down and in, count 1-0.
See, it seems like the breaking ball's not as sharp as it was in the first 4 innings.
The one offering is a fastball high and outside. So 2-0 now. We'll see if Jason Dietrich, the Cal State Fullerton coach, gets that bullpen stirring a little bit. Maybe not this inning, but soon. Grette's 2-0 is wrapped over third base and into left field for a base hit. Up with it is the left fielder Beeson. He quickly gets it back in, so a 2-out single for Ethan Hott, Stanford center fielder. 3rd hit of the afternoon for the Cardinal.
Bit of a hanger there. And that's 62 pitches now for Negrete.
I'll bring up Brock Sell, the true freshman, number 9 hitter. Top-rated freshman in all of high school baseball last year as a senior in the Stockton area of California. First pitch from Negrete, a breaking ball is over for a strike. Count of 1-0. It's funny, Stanford had Brock Jones, outfielder of note.
Yep.
So the Stanford outfielders from central part of California with the first name Brock, kind of a thing in this decade for the Cardinal. Pitch is in on the hands, fouled back to the screen, and Negrete is ahead of Sell 0-2 and 1 strike away from getting out of this 5th inning.
Brock Jones drafted by the Rockies, if memory serves.
I know he was drafted.
Was it Rays?
I think it was the Rays, actually.
The Rays.
Token throw over to first base, but Hott was no more than 2 steps off the bag, so he easily gets back. Sell, a left-handed hitter. 6'1", 175-pounder. Curveball is over for strike 3 called. It was not up, said the plate umpire, Mike Jarbo. And that will retire the Cardinal into the 5th inning. For Stanford, 1 run on 2 hits. There were no Cal State Fullerton errors, and 1 runner left on base. After 5 at Second Diamond, our score, Cal State Fullerton 3, Stanford 1. Come back after this break. You're listening to Stanford Baseball on the ACC Network Extra. We are back at Second Diamond. John Platts along with Scott Reese. After you've joined us on ACC Network Extra, going to the top of the 6th inning at Stanford, Cal State Fullerton 3, Stanford 1. In this 134th meeting between 2 D1 powerhouses in college baseball through the decades. 4, 5, 6 for the Titans. Ortega, Kim, and Beeson. First pitch from Nick Dugan of Stanford is outside. Ortega struck out in the first and doubled and scored in the 4th. He was on base when Hunter Beeson hit the 2-run homer. 1-0 pitch, bounces in front of home plate. Count 2-0. Nick Dugan has gone all the way for Stanford. Allowed 3 runs, just 2 of them earned. 2-0 pitch to Ortega is outside and also bounces just in front of home plate, and Dugan falls behind 3-0. Three-0 pitch, Ortega taken all the way. It's over for a strike. Count of 3-1. Ortega, 4-year player for Cal State Fullerton, 268 last year, 250 as a sophomore 2 years ago, and 224. So he's improved every year. And that 3-1 offering misses, and so Ortega, the second time this afternoon, is on base.
Cassius Thomas is loosening for Stanford in the bullpen.
The second walk issued by Nick Dugan. Dugan has 5 strikeouts on the afternoon. So Cameron Kim at the plate. Dugan goes over to first, but Ortega not very far off the base. Kim 1 for 2. Again, Dugan goes over to first.
Ortega does not strike me as a base-stealing threat.
Yes, not as forte. Not many catchers historically have been avid or successful base stealers. Craig Biggio comes to mind if we're thinking Major League Baseball. Now squaring is Kim. Good bunt up along the first base line. The ball fielded by Sasaki. He'll scoop it over to Jimmy Natai, the second baseman, covering at first. So the sacrifice successful. Play goes 3-4. Over to second goes Ortega.
Little hesitation there by Sasaki, who wasn't sure whether to field the ball or cover first and let his pitcher field it.
Yeah, but decisive enough when it counted. So runner in scoring position for Cal State Fullerton as they maintain a 3-1 lead. Hunter Beeson is at the plate, and now Thomas Eager, the pitching coach for the Cardinal, is going out to visit with Nick Dugan. Pitch count rising.
93.
And for mid to late February for a college arm, that's a lot.
We are nearing the end of the line for Nick Dugan, who has pitched well. He ran into trouble in that 1 inning. He gave up the 2-run homer. Other than that, he's been great.
And the young man with the home run is up now, Hunter Beeson. So, and that'll be all for Nick Dugan. Scott, as you correctly surmised. We'll see if it is Cassius Thomas, the senior from Los Angeles, coming into the ball game. And in fact, it is Cassius Thomas, the 6'2", 207-pound senior from Los Angeles. Thomas has appeared already twice this year. He's pitched 2 innings, walked nobody, struck out 3. He's allowed a couple hits, no home runs. Pitched sparingly last year, just 10 appearances, 10.13 earned run average. So he will be in for Nick Dugan. Scott, you have the final totals for Dugan?
Yeah, 5 1/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 94 total pitches. Far more effective today than he was in the opener against Arizona, albeit Stanford won that game because of the offense. More of a pitcher's duel here today, but really, he had that troublesome inning where he gave up 3 hits and they were all hard hit balls, including the home run by Beeson. Other than that, every other inning, he was on it.
Yeah, Cassius Thomas, 3rd year in the Cardinal program. He's a senior academically. Pitched at Duke his first year at a Sierra Canyon High School in Southern California. Pitched minimally in the 1 year at Duke. Came over to Stanford, made 23 appearances 2 years ago. Had a 1-1 record and a 9.31 ERA in 29 innings. And then last year as a junior, we mentioned just 10 appearances, had a 2-0 record, just 8 innings pitched. So it'll be Cassius Thomas to face Hunter Beeson, who hurt the Cardinals last time out, the 2-run home run off of Nick Dugan to give the Titans a then 3-0 lead. It's now 3-1 as Stanford pushed across the run in the bottom of the 5th inning. We're in the top of the 6th. And Beeson, with his 1-for-2 line, steps up to the plate. He flied to left to end the 1st inning, and then we mentioned the 2-run home run
It's legit.
in the 4th. Thomas from the stretch looks back at second base. First pitch to Beeson is a cutter that was up and away, 1-0.
And again, Beeson was not slated to start this ball game. Minutes before the first pitch.
He was inserted in left field. The left fielder Nick Miller was put at second base. Swing and a foul off the screen by Beeson. Count 1-1. Out of Villa Park High School, that's about 8 miles to the southeast of Cal State Fullerton campus, right smack in northern Orange County. Pitch is grounded over the bag at third, backhanded by Moran. Throw across is in time. J.J. Moran showing a strong arm at third base as he gloved that 3-hopper as it bounced over the third base bag and retires Beeson for the 2nd out of this top of the 6th inning, and that'll bring up Nick Miller. The second baseman was slated to start in left, moved to second base when the would-be starter at second, Eli Lopez, had to scratch. Miller is 1-for-2, single and a ground out to short in his 2 trips. Thomas' pitch is chopped foul behind the plate.
Moran's had a strong day. Really solid defensively at third base, and his 2nd career home.
Yep.
Accounting for Stanford's only
Indeed,
run.
and of course he came into the game hot, hitting .438, 7 for 16 for 4 Stanford games. Pitch to Miller is over for a strike, and count 0-2. So
Think about last year and Trevor Haskins and the torrid start that he got off to at third base. It'd be nice to see that
replicated.
replicated.
Thomas 0-2 pitch is a ground ball to short, scooped up by Bates. Throw across is in time, and that will retire Nick Miller and the Titans in the top of the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no Stanford errors, and 1 Cal State Fullerton Titan left on first on the base paths. We played 5.5 at Sunken Diamond here at Stanford University. Our score remains Cal State Fullerton 3, Stanford 1. And welcome back to Sunken Diamond. John Platz along with Scott Reese. We've played 5.5, going to the bottom of this 6th inning at Stanford. Cal State Fullerton 3, Stanford 1. As I mentioned, these teams have played 134 games now. This is 134th. A series that goes back to 1979. These teams usually play a 3-game or 4-game series in February. We mentioned they played 10 times in Omaha, Scott. 1988.
That's crazy.
1995, 1999, 2001, and 2003. Stanford has won 7 of those 3, including 2 games, 2 elimination semifinal games. 1988 and 2003.
Now, top of the order, it would behoove Stanford to jump on Negrete and maybe get him out of this ballgame.
Tatum Marsh at the plate, Stanford's leadoff hitter, takes ball 1, pitches high and away. 1-2-3 for Stanford here in the top of the bottom of the 6th, I should say. Marsh, Bates, and Natai. Well, offering to Marsh is wrapped into the hole and backhanded, but there'll be no play as Marsh easily beats the throw. It was a nice dive and flag of the ball by the shortstop, Kate O'Hara, but the fact that he was fully horizontal and sliding on his belly, and the fact that Marsh runs well for Stanford meant that that was a base hit all the way.
Well, we talked about top of the order, putting some pressure on Negrete, Fullerton, and mission accomplished, at least with the first batter, Marsh.
Charlie Bates, the hitter. First pitch from Marsh is over for a strike. Bates didn't like it, thought it was low. Marsh at first last year, 4 stolen bases in 10 attempts. We'll see if David Esker, the Stanford coach, sends him or plays a little hit and run here. Pitch to Bates is wrapped into right field. That's a base hit. Marsh will go to second and hold there. So Stanford back-to-back singles, and Scott, you mentioned that Negrete might be weakening a bit.
Well, the top of the order, Negrete pitched 5 innings, his first start. Here we are in the bottom of the 6th inning. It all sort of added up to this was Stanford's opportunity to try to get back in this game, and so now you've got 2 on, nobody out, 3, 4, 5 coming up, and I am guessing that somebody's going to start throwing down there in the left field bullpen, although it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, Negrete went 5 innings a week ago in the opener. Didn't allow any runs, pitched to Jim, and he's been solid through the first 5 in this game, but he's given up back-to-back singles to open the 6th. And Jimmy Natai at the plate, of course, has home run power. 16 last year. He swings through a breaking pitch as Negrete pulled the string there.
It's first time all day John Stanford's had 2 runners on.
Further to the excellence of Negrete in the game. Negrete from the stretch. Fastball low and inside. Count even up at 1-1. The gallery on the berm along the left field side making noise. We think there's some Stanford football players in that group. Negrete's 1-1. It is bounced up the middle. Stepping on second is Miller. Throw to first is in time, and just like that, a prospective rally by Stanford is weakened considerably.
Exactly what you did not want if you're a Stanford fan.
So Bates retired 4 unassisted, and then the throw to first to retire Natai, and quickly there are 2 outs for Stanford. The runner at third is Marsh.
That makes this a very important at bat for Brady Reynolds.
Yeah, Brady Reynolds trying to get that runner home from third. Curveball over for a strike from Negrete.
The pitch count is still not high, John. We're only at 70.
He's been very efficient. Reynolds 0 for 2, struck out and fly to center. in his 2 prior appearances at the plate. Curveball swung on and missed. And again, Negrete, curveball, Scott, that had some tilt, or seemed weaker last inning, has been sharp here.
Well, and I think that double play ball infuses you with some confidence.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden you're 1 pitch away from getting out of this thing unscathed.
The 0-2 pitch coming, swung on and missed, strike 3, and Negrete, energized or whatever, what was a promising Stanford rally snuffed out just like that. For Stanford, no runs on 2 hits, no Cal State Fullerton errors, and 1 man left on base through 6. That sunken diamond at Stanford, it remains Cal State Fullerton 3 and Stanford 1 on the ACC Network Extra. To the 7th we go at Stanford. Cal State Fullerton 3, Stanford 1. New pitcher for Stanford is Liam Cohen. And to tell you more about Liam Cohen and about this Stanford, this somewhat tight Stanford Cal State Fullerton baseball game, turn it back over to Scott Reese.
Thank you, John. And Liam Golden, the right-hander, comes into the ball game. Sophomore from Sacramento, has made just 1 appearance and gave up 1 run in that lone appearance. It was courtesy of a walk, didn't give up any hits, as he will be charged with keeping this a 2-run game. After Nick Dugan pitched well for 5 1/3, Cassius Thomas came in and got the final 2 outs of the 6th inning, and now here we are in the top of the 7th, as Cal State Fullerton will send Cade O'Hara, Hunter Meyer, and the leadoff man Ty Thomas to the plate. O'Hara, the shortstop, has struck out and flied out. Not a lot of shortstops wear number 50, John.
No, he's an interesting shortstop. Again, his freshman year in college, he was at Texas and pitched 19 innings, 2.75 ERA. Did not play last year, and now he's at Fullerton as the shortstop.
Of course, the one notable exception, Mookie Betts, former
what you're talking about.
part-time shortstop. It's the only other shortstop I can think of.
Wearing number 50.
Wearing number 50, yes.
I was thinking sort of a Trevor Hoffman thing.
Right.
Hoffman was a shortstop who became a pitcher.
Oh, no, right.
This is going the other way from pitcher to shortstop.
Correct. Of course, Mookie's gone all over the diamond. Anyway, we digress. 1-0 the count. And that pitch is upstairs. So 2-0 out of the chute.
It's the 8th career appearance for Liam Golden.
The 2-0 is right down the pipe. And 2-1 the count to Cade O'Hara.
Did Golden 6 appearances last year as a freshman.
Fastball low and away, so 3-1, and the last thing you want to do here is walk the leadoff man with a 2-run deficit, and the top of the order looming after Hunter Meyer. Yep, but there it is, ball 4. Well, control has been an issue for Liam Golden in, again, small sample size, but walked a man and hit a man in the first appearance, and now he walks the leadoff man here in the 7th in his 2nd appearance of the season. Meyer popped out to first and grounded out to 3rd. Squares to bunt, pulls it back, and that's outside. So at this point, may have been a take all the way just to see if Golden could find the strike zone. We'll see. It is the number 9 hitter. A bunt would make sense. And another perfect bunt down the first base line, fielded by Sasaki. Nadai covers, 1 out. sacrifice successful.
Cal State Fullerton showing adeptness in little ball.
That's 2 sacrifices.
Those butts in baseball are like free throws. Seemingly trivial, but boy, you notice when they aren't executed.
It's the lost art, John. Lost art of the bunt. Ty Thomas, leadoff man, back to the plate. 0 for 2 with a walk. And the first pitch is in there for strike 1. Thomas hitting .333 with a .840 OPS on this young season. One of the better hitters in
When
this
you've run
starting lineup.
Camtasia, but you really wanted to snag
And
it.
was slated to bat third, bumped up to the leadoff spot when Eli Lopez was scratched with back issues before the game. And there's a base hit to left field. On comes Broxell, and they will hold the runner at third. So Fullerton has something cooking with runners on the corners, 1 out. And the dangerous Andrew Kirchner coming to the plate.
And you got righty on lefty here, which is favorable for Cal State Fullerton. And
The only lefty in the lineup. Fortuitous timing.
you know, Liam Golden has really good stuff, but he's learning. Adrenaline.
Well, now would be a time to flash that good stuff, John. Big situation. Strikeout situation.
Stanford in at the corners, double play depth around second base.
Charlie Bates, the shortstop, playing basically just behind the bag, and there's a breaking ball that caught the inside corner. I don't think Dietrich agreed.
You know,
Kirchner rather.
Kirchner squared.
Yeah.
It looked like I don't know if it was a take all the way or a safety squeeze.
This is the guy who's got the only home run on this team. He's a power guy. I would be surprised if the safety squeeze is the call, but you never know.
One thing to remember, and I'll mention it after this pitch.
Boy, that time he had the third baseman Moran charging hard, but he didn't square around.
Cal State Fullerton has an excellent closer, first team all conference last year, Andrew Wright. So every run you get extra with a closer that good.
Sure. Moran charging again, and that first pitch where he squared around got in Moran's head. He's charging like a bat
Living
out of hell.
dangerously.
Seriously, because there's no bunt happening here.
Now there's 2 strikes now, so Moran can go back, unless.
And stay back.
Yeah, well.
1-2 pitch. Fly ball center field. This will get the run home. Hott makes the catch. And a sacrifice fly makes it 4-1 Fullerton.
So the walk comes around to hurt Stanford.
Yep. And with 2 outs, Paul Contreras will be the hitter. Contreras reached on an error in the first, struck out in the third, and grounded to third in the fifth. Pop foul out of play. Titans got 1 in the first inning, courtesy of 2 Stanford errors. 2 in the fourth inning, courtesy of a Britton Beeson 2-run homer. And now 1 in the seventh on a sacrifice fly. It counts 0-2 to Paul Contreras. Ball 1. Cleanup hitter Max Ortega on deck. Fullerton looking to pick up its 2nd win of this season. Ground ball just foul. Curveball swung on and missed, and Golden is exactly that. However, the leadoff walk comes around to score. Titans tack on an all-important run. They lead it 4-1. It's stretch time at Sunken Diamond. Back after this. Well, finally some good news for the Cardinal, John, as we've got a pitching change. Negrete, who was so good through 6 innings of work, has called it an afternoon, and
it's a new pitcher. That's Joseph
Hasso. Jasso, pronounced
Hasso. Closed the book on Negrete, Scott. He goes 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. It was earned. 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. A pretty fair bit of pitching for the Cal State #1 pitcher today.
I mean, that's 11 innings, 1 run over 2 starts. So I think Fullerton's found its ace. And it'll be incumbent upon the Stanford offense to try and come back against the bullpen. Hasso has pitched 5 innings this season already, and he's pitched well. 1 unearned run, 1 hit, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. And he starts Sasaki off with a strike, 0-1.
Hasso's a 6'3" junior from Southgate. It's in Southern California. College of the Canyons, junior college last year. He was first team all-conference.
Ball 1 evens the count. You know, this is Fullerton 1-3 coming in, but it's because the offense has not done much, or did not do much in that first series against Cal Baptist, as Sasaki takes ball 2. The pitching staff, the ERA coming in was 3.8, which in the college game is okay. And, well, they've certainly lived up to the billing today.
Certainly today.
Whereas Stanford has done its damage on the offensive side over 4 games. And today, the bats have been quiet.
Stanford needs base runners, and Sasaki has worked the count 3-1.
And that's ball 4, so much like Golden walked the leadoff hitter in the top of the 7th, he came around to score. Hasso does the same thing.
And we just underestimate pitchers who haven't pitched a lot in college, excited to be out there, adrenaline's running and pumping, and it's understandable.
Well, and here's the guy who's done what little damage the Cardinal offense has inflicted on the Titans today. J.J. Moran hit the solo home run in the 5th inning. Sasaki at first, and that is way outside ball 1. Sasaki not a base stealing threat, even if this were more of a base stealing situation, which clearly it is not, down 4-1 in the 7th.
Sasaki did have a stolen base last year in 2 attempts, but yes, he's not given to be running in a situation like this.
Moran takes outside, so the strike zone elusive for Joseph Hasso here in the bottom of the 7th, and that'll bring out his catcher Max Ortega for a quick word and maybe get things jumping a bit down to the Cal State Fullerton bullpen.
There are a lot of dudes in that bullpen, by the way.
And they're all running around, limbering up, but nobody throwing that I can see.
What they're doing is there's an excess of guys there, and some of them are coming back into the dugout because you can't have too many dudes there when you need space to throw pitches.
Right.
Somebody might get hit.
Home crowd trying to
it's
light a fire.
It's the peanut gallery there on the left field line.
It's the football guys.
They're trying to be, like a dog pound?
Questionable call on the outside corner. It's 2-1. Why do I expect to see Andrew Luck in the middle of it?
Because Andrew is driving to be excellent everywhere. He is. No, listen. God bless Andrew. He is working hard with the intent of working wonders.
2-1 pitch, again way outside. He's falling off to the left side on virtually every pitch. And yanking these balls wide of the plate.
I think he's fighting it mentally too, which again, understandable, but far from ideal.
Well, 3-1, big pitch coming up to J.J. Moran. He looks at strike 2 on the outside corner. John, you're not sending the runner, are you?
I am not sending Rintaro Sasaki.
3-2 pitch is in the dirt. Ball 4, back-to-back walks. And Stanford, for the second consecutive inning, has 2 men aboard.
There's a right-hander loosening up in the Fullerton bullpen. We can't quite catch the number.
And certainly cannot catch the number.
Jason Dietrich, slow walk to the mound, and I bet he's bringing a hook. Usually you don't walk that slowly when you're not, I mean, you're trying to give the guy time.
I was going to say, he hasn't been throwing very long.
Hence the slow walk.
Yeah, well.
And Dietrich's going to wait until the plate umpire goes out.
Yeah, I mean.
Dietrich, a former pitcher at Pepperdine.
That's 11 pitches for Hasso, 8 balls, 3 strikes. Not an ideal ratio. Home plate umpire Mike Jarbo out to effect some sort of move here, and they're going to stay with Hasso. And it may be because I don't think the relievers had enough time.
I think you're right. I thought the slow walk
no matter how slow the walk was.
Well, he's walking faster back, so I guess it's just, even with this slow walk, it's not enough time.
No. He'd probably only thrown 8 pitches down there. So here's Luke Lavin with 2 on, nobody out, down by 3 in the bottom of the 7th. See if he's taking here after back-to-back walks. He is, and it's low and inside, ball 1. Lavin 1 for 13 on the season, although the 1 hit was a home run.
Huge gap between first and second. The Cal State infielders playing double play depth, but there's a big gap between first and second.
And ball 2. And again, John, he's missing in the same spot every time. Inside to the lefty, outside to the righties.
I would think a third walk would mean a replacement.
Yeah, a less slow walk to the mound. 2-0. Boy, went around. I'm surprised he wasn't taking. That was at the letters. May have been a strike.
Might have been at the eyes.
Yeah, I mean, that may or may not have been a strike. I'm surprised that wasn't a taking all the way situation. It's 2-1. Curveball into right field. That is a base hit, and they're going to go station to station. Sasaki's not going to score, but Stanford has the bases loaded with nobody out. And freshman coming up in Ethan Hott and Blake Sell.
Good piece of hitting by Lavin. Didn't try to do too much, Scott. Pitch looked like he was on the outside part of the plate, but Lavin had good plate coverage and just an easy swing. Flipped it into right field, and Stanford with by far its best chance to have a big inning in this game.
It's the first runner they've had at third base, not counting the home run, in this ball game. And here is the less slow walk to the mound, as Jason Dietrich is going to make a change, and we are going to have a new pitcher in a very dangerous situation. Bases loaded, nobody out. It is a right-hander, and as soon as we get a number, I'll tell you who it is.
This should be good.
It is Brock Meyer, excuse me.
Brock Mayer.
You say Mayer, okay. PA guy said Meyer, so I trust you. I'll go with you. John, 1 appearance, 1 inning, 1 run. So not a lot of data here, but again, it's early in the season.
Well, he did pitch in the opener, which is the only win that Cal State Fullerton has this year thus far. Cal State Fullerton opened the year last weekend, 4-game series against Cal Baptist, a Western Athletic Conference school. Cal State Fullerton won the opener, and then lost the next 3, but Mayer pitched middle relief in that win. As you mentioned, did 5. Ben but did not break. 1 inning pitch, 3 hits, 1 run allowed, the only run allowed, but he did strike out a hitter. No decision in a game that was saved ultimately by Andrew Wright, the closer.
You think there's life in the Stanford dugout for the first time today?
Yeah, it's a choreographed. 2 hands from the waist level up to the above the head.
On the beat of Billy Squire.
I knew you'd know.
I am, as you are the encyclopedia of all things athletics, I am the encyclopedia of 80s music.
Okay.
4-1 Cal State Fullerton, bottom 7 here at Sunken Diamond. But Stanford has something cooking. Bases loaded, nobody out. And Ethan Hott trying to bring the Cardinal closer, or maybe tie this game, or hey, maybe take the lead. Now would be a good time for your first big league or first collegiate homer, huh?
Sasso goes no innings officially, gives up 1 hit, a couple walks, no strikeouts. All 3 runners are his responsibility.
And somewhere in that dugout, Micaiah Negretti is saying, seriously?
Yeah, he's in position for a win, but that presupposes that Cal State Fullerton A, wins the game, and B, gives up 2 or fewer runs this inning.
And we have a timeout called.
Pitch clock.
Pitch clock.
Against the pitcher.
Yeah. Wow. First pitch of the game. And you don't get it off, you get a pitch clock, and Dietrich is going to have a word with home plate umpire Mark Jarbo, who was emphatic in that call. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, there it is. I was going to say we can't see the pitch clock, but there it is beneath the scoreboard. So it is 1-0, even though a pitch has yet to be thrown. And ball 2 low and away. So that pitch clock violation, John, is huge. Now you throw 1 bad pitch and all of a sudden you're thinking, I have no margin for error here. It's 2-0, the bases are loaded, nobody's out.
And that pitch was semi-close to a wild pitch. So Cal State Fullerton relievers having trouble finding the strike zone.
And we'll see if Hott is taking here 2-0.
I would imagine he is.
He is not. He skies one down the right field line. It's going to hook foul, or slice foul, I should say, into the bullpen. So he was hacking.
Yeah, no take sign, no.
No, he got one down the middle. And
again, the calling card for Stanford this year would appear to be offense, big run innings, and you don't do that by taking a lot.
2-1 to Hott. Swung on and missed, 2-2. Ethan 3 for 14 on the season, 3 RBI. Has struck out 4 times in those 14 at-bats. 1 for 2 today, singled in the 5th. The 2-2, just off the plate. And I don't think Brock Mayer agrees.
Yeah, very close. Hot fortunate.
So, bases loaded, nobody out, 3-2.
Payoff pitch.
And it is fouled at the plate to heighten the drama. These fans waiting for something to explode about. They had the home run.
They've
Other than that,
picked up the noise. First game at Sunken Diamond in 9 months.
the 3-2 pitch to Ethan Hott. Foul tipped. He just got a piece of it.
I think they got a piece of the catcher, Ortega, but I think a padded part of the body.
So we'll do it again. 3-2. Bouncer to third, gloved by Kim, who comes home. and a force out on Sasaki at home plate.
5-2 on that play, and a throw. It was an interesting play. Cameron Kim, the third baseman, Troy, had to kind of move his feet to make sure the throw didn't hit the runner. He threw it on the inside part, or the field part of the foul line, and it almost drew the catcher, that toe, off of the plate. 5-2 again on the put-out, first out of the inning.
So now Brock Sell with the bases loaded, and he hits one on the screws to center field. It's going to stay in the ballpark. This will get a run home as Moran tags and scores. So top of the seventh, leadoff walk turned into a sacrifice fly for the Titans. Bottom seven, leadoff walk turns into a sacrifice fly for the Cardinal, and it's 4-2. It'll be up to Tatum Marsh if the Cardinal are to put up a crooked number here and really get back into this thing late in the game. The other runners did not move up, so it's first and second now, 2 outs.
And again, Cal State Fullerton has an all-conference first-team reliever, well, first-team All-Big West from a year ago, Andrew Wright, if Fullerton can maintain a lead late.
And we will see if Wright is called upon for a 2-inning save, if this bottom seven should end without further complication for Cal State Fullerton. 1-0 to Sell, or to Marsh, excuse me. Fouled off. Marsh has a single in 3 at-bats. And just catches the outside corner. So 1-2 the count. Mayer trying to pitch out of a big-time jam. Will not do so here. It's 2-2.
Marsh, 86 hits a year ago, 377. It's the batting average guy you want at the plate, but not a ton of power, Scott. Just 13 doubles, 2 triples, 3 home runs. So not likely to get the one blow deal here, but Stanford would take a base hit.
You would take a base hit. 2-2. Fouled away down the right field line. And another souvenir for the kids. Lavin at second, Hot at first. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom 7, 4-2 Fullerton. And a ground ball to second base. Nick Miller, cookie cutter, easy play, side retired. Stanford gets 1, but it could have been a lot worse for the Titans. Cardinal had bases loaded, nobody out. And we have a 4-2 game heading to the 8th. Back after this on
ACC Network Extra.
Network
Love
Extra.
it. Love the ACC Network Extra.
Liam Golden back on the mound for his second inning of work for Stanford. Trying to keep this a 2-run game. And he will face Max Ortega to lead things off for Cal State Fullerton. And Ortega looks at a ball inside. He has reached on an error, popped out to first, and walked. Golden works quickly and leaves it down low. Walked the leadoff batter in the 7th, John, and that didn't work out so well. You know, he's behind 2-0 to the leadoff hitter here. And make it 3-0, fastball high. Taking all the way, strike on the inside corner, 3-1. And he lost him, so back-to-back innings now. The Titans get a leadoff walk. They cashed it in the 7th, and that may be it for Golden.
I think that is the case.
That is a walk of frustration for now. Mike Jarbo not waiting around. He's going to force the issue a lot quicker than he did with Fullerton. And there is the call to the pen. So we will have our 4th Stanford pitcher of the afternoon. I believe it is Ben Reimers.
I think you're correct about that.
So close the book. Well, he can't close the book on Golden. He's responsible for the runner on first base. It is, in fact, Ben Reimers, who has pitched in just a third of an inning this year. Did give up a couple of runs in the form of a 2-run homer.
43rd career appearance for the Stanford junior from Aliso Viejo, California. That's Southern Orange County. Went to J. Sarah Catholic High School. 2 years ago, Scott, as a freshman, 22 appearances, all in relief, 3-1 record. And last year, 19 appearances, pitched 22 innings, 8.46 earned run average. In 22 innings, did have 18 strikeouts, and then you mentioned just the 1 prior appearance this year.
And he will inherit Max Ortega at first base, and Cameron Kim will be
Reimers, like so many of these Stanford pitchers, Scott, 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 210, 220 pounds. Reimer 6'4", 220 pounds. So he's got some velo. But the job right here is to get Stanford clean out of the inning, down and still down 2, just 2. For Fullerton, try to extend, and they've got that ace card with Andrew Wright, the great reliever.
Well, and if you're Stanford at this point, you hope the game is close enough where the closer is even in play.
A factor, yep.
And Cameron Kim will stroll to home plate. Struck out in the 1st, doubled in the 4th, and successfully sacrificed in the 6th. And we will see if this is another sacrifice situation. The Titans have done that twice already today.
I would guess that it is.
And it looks that way. Pulls it back, and it's ball 1. And both previous sacrifice bunts have been carbon copies right down the first base side to Rentaro Sasaki.
Excellent execution.
That time, Kim looks at strike 1.
Reimers is I would think, Scott, a bit hard to bunt on. He gives you just a lot of motions just at the release point. You know?
Well, those
kind of crouches, sort of mid wind up.
Those were both breaking balls, those first 2 pitches. A little harder to get down. And another breaking ball outside, so 2-1. The thing is, guy's going to give you an out. Take it.
Moran about 3 steps onto the grass at third base.
And he tried to go down the first base line again, and that did not work. World foul. So I would imagine now, John, you pull the bunt off and take your chances. Not a lot of speed at first base with Ortega. Two and two to Cameron Kim. Slider, poke to right field, and Marsh has a beat on it for the first out. That'll bring up Britton Beeson, who has one of the big blows of this ball game, a substantial 2-run home run in the 4th inning.
Alliterative with the B's. Britton Beeson,
the bomb.
big blow,
Big bomb. Or big bummer if you're Stanford. It's the home opener, John. We got to pace ourselves.
Guys, hey, the skies are clearing a little bit.
The skies are clearing a little bit. Ball 1. You know, speaking of the skies and the weather, initially, early in the week, there was rain forecasted this weekend, so much so that they tinkered with the schedule and they created a doubleheader for tomorrow, with the last game now either Sunday or Monday, and they still haven't made the call on which day it will be. And seeing as I'm supposed to do the game Sunday and you're supposed to do the game Monday, we are very interested parties.
We'll see.
Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Reimers trying to settle things down after Golden walked the leadoff man here in the 8th. 2-2 to Beeson. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Reimer's done a nice job.
Now, that breaking ball was so effective that I think Beeson knew it was coming and still couldn't hit it. College pitcher Scott, who can throw breaking balls for strikes.
Yep.
That counts for a lot. That's what can separate. Can you throw that breaking ball 3-2? Can you throw it runners on base? Can you avoid wild pitches?
Fouled back by Nick Miller, who's 1 for 3. 4 runs, 5 hits for the Titans, 2 runs, 6 hits, and 2 very big errors for the Cardinals, both in the first inning. Led to the first Cal State Fullerton run. Hot shot to the hole and through. Miller has his second hit. Ortega to second.
So Fullerton has a lot to be thankful for as far as the scratch. Nick Miller, playing left field, now plays second base, but has been effective. A couple of hits. It turned a nice double play, and of course Hunter Beeson wasn't supposed to play at all, and he's got the 2-run homer in the game.
Baseball gods work in mysterious ways. 2 on, 2 out. Kate O'Hara, the shortstop, takes outside. Strike 1. Breaking ball, strike 1. It's a Fullerton team, John, that struggled out of the gate last year. Played much better in the conference season, and then got bounced quickly in the Big West tournament. Trying to get back to prominence. A lot of history with Cal State Fullerton. There's strike 3 on the inside corner. So nice job by Reimers. Gets 3 outs, gives up just a base hit, and keeps the score at 4-2. Bottom 8 coming up at Sunken Diamond. We're back after this. Back at Sunken Diamond, Scott Reese, John Platz. Bottom 8, and the home team trying to erase a 2-run deficit, but John, they're running out of time.
They are, and you mentioned Fullerton in the history, Scott. 4 College World Series championships, 1979, 1984, 1995, and 2004, and sort of a big name associated with each of those teams, certainly 3 of them. Tim Wallach was the Golden Spikes winner in 1979, the former Major League infielder. 1995, the third of the 4 Cal State Fullerton championships. Mark Kotze was the Golden Spikes winner that year. The 2 that Fullerton has had, Wallach and
Do you have a minute or not?
Kotze, and then 2004, Justin Turner was a key player on that Fullerton championship team in 04.
Charlie Bates lifts a fly ball down the left field line. That'll sail into the bullpen. Mark Kotze, number 1 overall pick.
95.
Calls we've been getting early.
Never played Fullerton in one of the College World Series games in 95. Fullerton won it 6-5.
And now coaching the big league club in Sacramento.
He's had some journeys in this state.
And if you had told Mark Kotze when he was at Fullerton that someday he would be coaching a Major League Baseball team in Sacramento, he probably would have not thought it.
We got another pitch clock violation.
We do have another pitch clock violation, so that's 2
Message from this one.
on Mayer.
First one
didn't hurt him.
First, there's a blast of like incredible
Pop up, third base side, Cameron Kim.
And then there's
Easy
the message.
play, 1 out.
If you did not where's the payment of $1,099 for an iPhone? If you did not authorize this, please press 1 or something.
Jimmy Nadai will try to ignite a Stanford rally.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
They don't
they're
even say-
spoofing the numbers anyway.
Yeah.
You mentioned Andrew Wright, the closer. I imagine we will see him in the 9th.
For sure.
Give Stanford precious little leeway as Nadai grounds one. Wow, that goes through the wickets of Kate O'Hara and into left field.
Not I had a notion to go for 2, but you're down 2.
No, yeah.
But from a different number.
No chance roll or no gain in rolling the dice there.
They gave him a hit on that, John. Maybe it didn't go through the legs, but it sure was playable. Okay. Either way, Stanford has a runner on first base, and the cleanup man, Brady Reynolds, now represents the tying run. Reynolds has some pop. Nadai has some speed. And the 1-0 is bounced to the right side, gloved by Kirchner. He goes to second for 1, back to first, not in time. So another fielder's choice. I feel like there have been a bunch of those today off the bats of Stanford players.
Indeed there have, and again, that was good approach by the first baseman, Kirchner, to take his time, get his footwork right, make sure that the throw carried no risk of hitting the base run. Of course, if you're a base runner in that situation, you're trying to get the ball to hit you.
Cheat it, absolutely. Well, and you want to make sure you get 1 out if you're Fullerton.
Well, Stanford has the right guy on the plate to try and tie it with 1 swing here.
Rentaro Sasaki. Big swing, foul ball. This would be a good time to hit one into the pool, wouldn't it?
The all-time high school home run hitter in the country of Japan.
Little bit of hype.
What did Otani do?
Yeah, right? What has that guy done? But can Rentaro pitch? Breaking ball outside, 1-1.
This is really interesting to get a player of that, for any college to get a player of that repute. One of Japan's great young players decides to go to Stanford for college.
Again, I direct your attention to Nick Miller, the second baseman. Look where he's playing.
Oh my word. Let's just say if there's a 5 hopper not hit very hard, there's none chance.
Even Sasaki's beating it out? Is that what you're saying? I think he was deep.
He's almost in the shadows.
He was deeper last time. It's crazy.
Oh, okay.
2-1 to Rentaro. Outside corner, good pitch. So Brock Mayer 1 strike away of sending this game to the 9th with a 2-run lead, and Sasaki, of course, 1 swing away from making this a brand new ballgame.
Okay.
Fouled
it's-
away.
You got your, that's your,
Sasaki staying alive, you know.
okay, cool.
Scott, unofficial
All
third on
right,
my part. The
well
more
said.
fouls on 2 strikes that are hit or hit, you just get more and more locked in, more and more locked in.
Well, you see more
Obsessive
pitches.
Well,
compulsive disorder,
Just the chance of
You're
your
right.
concentration level is so much higher. Your chance of getting a good contact
Well, that's
increases,
sort
in my
of
opinion.
true, yeah.
2-2 pitch,
Still do that
right back
now.
up the middle, scorched. But a terrific play by Kate O'Hara, who throws him out. And that's the second time today that O'Hara has had Sasaki played perfectly.
They have played Stanford hitters beautifully.
Now, so the Cardinal go by the wayside in the 8th. No runs, a hit, and a man left. 9th inning coming up at Sunken Diamond. It is 4-2 Titans.
Impulse to declutter.
9th inning coming up here at Sunken Diamond, and Cal State Fullerton will try to add to a 4-2 lead. Back with the play-by-play is my man John Blatz.
9-1-2 for the Titans in the top of the 9th inning. 4-2, Cal State Fullerton leading Stanford. Ben Reimer's back in for inning number 2 in relief. He had a terrific top of the 8th. Pitched 1 inning, no runs, no hits, struck out 2. 14 pitches, 11 were strikes, and majority breaking ball. First pitch to Hunter Meyer, misses inside. Meyer 0 for 2, fouled out to first, grounded to third, and sacrificed his prior 3 trips. Reimer's pitch is hit high in the air to medium deep left field, way up there. And the catch is made by Broxell, the left fielder, to retire Hunter Meyer for out number 1 in the 9th.
Oh, wow. Car
John,
rams
I,
into
just got back
Los
from spring
Angeles
training.
Department of Water and
Giants for a
Power
couple of days.
Covering it for Cron
substation
TV.
in
And
Nevada.
got to catch up with a couple of former Stanford greats.
2 shotguns, an assault
Giants,
rifle style
Miller, and
pistol, and
Chris Beck.
flamethrowers were found in the rental car.
Ty Thomas at
The
the plate.
driver, wearing
Leadoff man
soft
for
body
the
armor, died from a
Titans. He
self-inflicted
takes a breaking ball
gunshot wound.
inside. Thomas,
So he didn't go through
2
with
for
it?
4.
Oh yeah, he
Blow up?
did.
He
Yeah,
thought
couple
it would blow up,
singles.
but it
maybe. I don't know.
Did it blow
in his
up
4
anything?
appearances.
No.
Beck
Nothing
still
went off.
very dialed
Funny
in.
thing is, he had.
Stanford baseball says he watches. Maybe he's watching.
Well,
right now.
no. He didn't have anything really explosive.
Pitch on the way is
Why?
low.
I don't know.
Also, he was just named the alternate union player rep for the Giants. As Logan Webb is the new player rep, and Beck is the alternate.
Austin Slater, former Cardinal player, former Giant, held that title for a number of years in San Francisco. 2-0 the count here to Thomas. Pitch is a fastball on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 2-1. 4 runs, 6 hits for Cal State Fullerton. 2 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors for Stanford. The errors figured in one of the Cal State Fullerton runs, it being unearned. The action pitch 2-1 is outside on a breaking ball, and count goes to 3-1 to the leadoff man, Ty Thomas. A terrific JC player last year. We talked about it. 384 from Mount San Antonio Junior College, and rewarded with a starting spot for Cal State Fullerton in his junior collegiate season. 3-1 pitch is lifted foul and over our heads, over the screen, over the press box, and out of play. Count has gone full to Thomas. 1 out, top of the 9th.
As expected, Fullerton closer Andrew Wright is loosening in the bullpen.
Three-two pitch from Reimers to Thomas is fisted into left center field, but right there is Sell to make the catch for out number 2. So a pair of fly ball outs here in the top of the 9th inning. Reimers has pitched well. 5 outs recorded. That's what David Esker and the Stanford head coach and Thomas Seeger, the pitching coach, want to see.
Throw strikes.
And Andrew Kirchner comes to the plate for Cal State Fullerton. Home run threat. Led the Titans last year in dingers with 12.
Also drove in 70 runs, which led the Big West.
He lifts one to right center field, fairly deep dive, and not catching the ball is Marsh. He recovers it on the Hartfield top. Going for 3 is Kirchner, and he'll be in there with a triple.
But right on cue, he smoked that to the right center field gap. Great effort by Tatum Marsh. Couldn't quite come up with it. And it's a 2-out triple for Kirchner.
It's the 7th hit for Cal State Fullerton. First hit of the afternoon for Kirchner. Cal State Fullerton in a position to get an insurance run with 2 outs. Paul Contreras comes to the plate. Modesto area high school pro, went to Modesto JC actually his first year of college. Reimer's pitch, breaking ball nearly hit the helmet of Contreras for ball 1. 4-2 Fullerton, top of the 9th, 2 out, runner at third. Reimer's offering breaking ball and a good one. Catches the outside corner to even the count at 1-1. Contreras reached on an error, that pivotal fly ball that wasn't caught in the first inning, popped out to first, walked in his prior 2 trips to the plate, takes that one outside. It's from Reimers just inside. Reimers wanted that one, didn't get it. 3-1 the count now. Reimers can use the pitch if he so chooses here. Contreras, the number 3 hitter in the Fullerton lineup. Pitch is under the arms and inside again. Didn't miss by much, but Contreras is on. So runners at the corners for the Titans with 2 out. We'll bring up Max Ortega, the catcher. A chance to extend the Cal State Fullerton lead. Contreras officially 0 for 2 with a couple of walks. To Ortega is on the outside corner of breaking ball. Nice pitch from Reimers. Count of 0-1. Reimers trying to get Stanford out of this top of the 9th with no runs allowed and see if Stanford can get the 2 that they need to tie, the 3 they need to win. Pitch is a breaking ball, and that one's on the outside corner. A couple of nice off-speed pitches from Reimers has Max Ortega, the hitter, in a hole 0-2. Reimers set on top. And the 0-2 is lined down the right field line, but fouled off the end of the bat and was fouled by about 15 feet. Retrieved by Tatum Marsh and thrown into the Stanford bullpen along the right field side. Reimers 0-2 once again. That one's lifted foul again off the right side. That one out of play. The story of the game in one sense has been defense. The ability of Cal State Fullerton to position defenders and make plays. And for Stanford, not able to catch fly balls in the outfield. One which should have been caught and one that was a diving effort that would have really helped here in the 9th inning. Reimers still hasn't allowed a run. He bounces one, but good blocking of the baseball by Luke Levin, the catcher. Runner at first does take second. I wonder how that will, I guess they'll give a stolen base.
Wild pitch.
Wild pitch. Assessed against Reimers. 1-2 the count now. 2 runners in scoring position now for Cal State Fullerton. The 1-2, that's low. Two and two as the shadows lengthen here at Sunken Diamond.
Probably getting a little harder to hit the baseball this time of day.
Reimers, the 2-2 pitch is grounded back up the middle, but scooping it up behind second is Nadai. He'll throw to first and retire.
Yeah.
Ortega at first. The Titans in the 9th, no runs, a hit, no Stanford errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Stanford needs 2 to tie and 3 to win. And Andrew Wright, the All conference closer coming in for the Cal State Fullerton Titans as we go to break. Cal State Fullerton 4 and Stanford 2. You're listening to ACC Network Extra. We go to the bottom of the ninth at Sunken Diamond on the campus of Stanford University. Cal State Fullerton 4, Stanford 2. And the Cal State Fullerton closer, and he's a very good one out on the mound to make his first appearance of this game. A ninth inning guy, of course, last year. Andrew Wright. The junior from Woodbridge, California. That's near Lodi, which of course is near Stockton. So a lot of Stockton represented by both teams in this game. A left-hander, Andrew Wright, 6'1", 205-pound junior. Last year, 27 appearances, 10 saves for Cal State Fullerton, 3-2, the won-loss record, 2.40 his earned run average, 41 innings pitched, 13 walks, only 13 walks, and 49 strikeouts. First team, all Big West. So this is the kind of game that Fullerton would be happy with every game they play. One save this year for Wright. That was the opener, the 3-run win over Cal Baptist. He'll have to get through as Stanford ninth inning of 6, 7, and 8 in the order. J.J. Moran, Luke Lavin, and Ethan Hott. Moran has been the hitter du jour for the Cardinal. He's 1 for 2, a solo home run in the 5th inning. Walked and scored on a sacrifice fly in the 7th, so he's 1 for 2. 7 for 19 on the season. Wright's first pitch jams him, fouls fisted foul over the screen and out of play. Moran, the sophomore from San Diego, first year as a starter. Wright's pitch, fastball just off the outside corner. Count of 1-1. Cal State Fullerton has the outfield fairly deep and straight away. Moran's task is to get on base. Pitch is lifted to right field, but that's going to be playable for the right fielder. Contreras, he's under it and makes the catch, and that's a big out number 1 in the bottom of the ninth, if you're a Fullerton fan.
Well, Stanford's going to go to the bench, John, for the first time today.
They are. Teddy Tokheim is the hitter. Freshman from Seattle. Pitch from right is on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. This is the first appearance in college for Teddy Tokheim. 6'3", 215-pound freshman from Lakeside High. Wright's pitch, breaking ball, that's up in the zone, but over for a strike, and quickly it's 0-2. So you've got a veteran closer against a heart is pounding, first time playing in college.
A guy who was playing high school baseball 8 months ago? Yep.
Well, advantage pitcher here, 0-2. The windup is right. Pitch is chopped foul. Good job by Tokheim to stay alive. He wrapped it over toward the Stanford dugout. Tokheim's job is to get on base, but Andrew Wright's ahead in the count, 0-2. Again, walked only 13 in 41 innings last year. Pitch on the way just off the outside corner. Very, very close. Tokheim, one might say, fortunate to still be at the plate. 1-2 the count. Got to be swinging if it's close here. He got the call last time. Curveball is grounded to third on 2 hops to Kim. Throw across is in time. More good defense from the Titans, and Cal State Fullerton 1 out away from spoiling Stanford's home opener.
Kim's been busy today. A lot of balls to third base.
Ethan Hott will come to the plate. Stanford's last chance. Fullerton leading it 4-2 in this ninth inning. Looking for its 58th all-time win against Stanford in 134 meetings. Wright's pitch swung on and missed. Just straight gas on the outside part of the plate.
Look, if you're Stanford, I realize there's only 1 out to go now, but you'd really like to make Wright work a little bit. This is game 1 of a 4-game series.
Problem is he throws strikes.
Yeah.
The 0-1. Ground ball is short. That's where O'Hara is. He bobbles it, and it's going to be an error. So Stanford does get a base runner. So just as we laud the Cal State Fullerton defense, they get their first error of the afternoon.
And we're going to get a pinch runner for Tokheim. And see if
That's Philip Chong. He's the guy reputed to have a great deal of speed.
And we're also going to get Eric John pinch hitting for Broxell.
So changes across the board. I don't think we have a pinch runner. I think Hott is still at first. But we do have Eric.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Eric Gian
Yep, right.
is the hitter. He's a transfer for Columbia. This is his first Stanford appearance. 320 hitter at Columbia 2 years ago.
He ran into the dugout. He must have just been, maybe he was getting a sliding pads or something. But you're right.
Eric Gian from Fullerton, California, went to La Mirada High School, so trying to
Well, wouldn't this just be the storybook?
do damage. The junior, the transfer from Columbia. Wright's pitch is chopped towards second. This should do it. Easy play across. It is in time. The throw from the second baseman Miller to the first baseman Kirchner, and Cal State Fullerton takes the first game of this 3-game series at Stanford for the Cardinal in the ninth. No runs, no hits. There was a Fullerton error and 1 run left on base. As the final totals look like this for the Cal State Fullerton Titans to win it. 4 runs on 7 hits. There was 1 error and 9 left on base for Cal State, or for Stanford, I should say. 2 runs on 7 hits. There were 2 Cardinal errors and 7 runs left on base. The winning pitcher is Makaya Negrete. His record now 2-0, a very fine performance for the junior right-hander to get the win. He went 6 innings. In this one, allowed just the 1 run, walked 1, struck out 7. He gets the win. Andrew Wright gets his second save of 2026. The young man who had 10 last year and had first-team all-conference honors worked a very effective 9th inning. For the losing pitcher for Stanford is Nick Dugan, who went 5 in the 3rd innings, giving up 4 runs, 3 earned, or rather, gave up 3 runs, 2 earned, gave up 4 hits, walked a couple and struck out 5. So Scott, for Stanford, we came in this broadcast talking about Fullerton and their inability to hit to their liking in the first few games. Well, they didn't hit a ton in this game, but they hit enough. They got the big hit, the 2-run homer by Hunter Beeson, but played a lot of good defense. But the starting pitching and the closer were the difference.
Yeah, Fullerton has 2 wins on the season. Negrete has both of them, and Wright has 2 saves. And that was the story today. Other than that, it was a fairly nondescript baseball game. Not a lot of offense on either side. Some shoddy defense on both sides, but at the end of the day, pitching beats good hitting, and it did today, and Fullerton gets the first game of the series.
And kudos to Fullerton, the Stanford team that came in with 29 runs in its first 4 games. Yep. So, I mean, that's 7+ runs a game.
No, and there weren't many threats. It's not like Stanford left 13 guys on base. They didn't have a ton of base runners. They did have a couple of opportunities late in the game, but couldn't cash in. The good news for Stanford is Negrete will not pitch again in this series, and no other Fullerton pitcher has a win this year, so we'll see.
Well, and for Stanford, Aiden Keenan looks to be the starter in one of the games tomorrow, perhaps the first of the 2 games. Some change from this printed schedule for those of you that are viewing us or listening to us and planning to come to Sunken Diamond. It'll be a doubleheader tomorrow. First pitch will be 12:05 Pacific time. Again, 2 games tomorrow, Stanford and Fullerton. And then the 4th game of this 4-game series, we're not sure whether it'll be Sunday or Monday. Check GoStanford.com for information on that. Scott, you'll be on hand for...
If there is a game Sunday, I will be calling.
You'll be on the game Sunday, and the big game Monday, I'll be on hand. But we sure was a pleasure working with you again. We'll be doing it at least one more time this year. Love being at Sunken Diamond for any occasion, but especially broadcasting a Stanford game with you. Thanks to one and all of you who have been with us for some or all of this one today. Once again, the final score from Sunken Diamond on the campus of beautiful Stanford University. It was the Cal State Fullerton Titans 4 and the Stanford Cardinal 2. Join us again tomorrow at 12 o'clock Pacific time for resumption of this Stanford Cal State Fullerton series. For my broadcast partner Scott Reese, I'm John Platts. Thanking you for having been with us. You've been listening to ACC Network Extra.